We also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida. And we also have a
Oh! Oh my God! Fuck! Holy fuck! Oh my God!
TunaBeats.com.
What's going on? Welcome back to my channel, My Life Perspective. In this video, we're discussing some of the issues that are going on with people rioting in the streets and how people talk about they're having peaceful protests, but yet causing harm to other people. So, if you watch my other videos, I've talked about how we should get rid of the illegal immigrants and how people who are rioting, shouldn't be here in this country and should be thrown into prison, for how they're going out harming and causing chaos and burning down buildings, looting people's stores, private property, and all kind of, businesses that people own. And honestly, man, like when I sit back and I observe everything, I agree with what Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, had to say. And I'm glad that he, enforced that policy, because how often are you hearing stories of people getting pulled out of their cars that are innocent? They're not the ones enforcing policy. They're not the ones hurting or infringing on someone else's rights or freedoms or liberties to live. Yet somehow you got these rioters, these idiots, these crazy goofballs, pulling people out of their cars, beating them pretty much to a pulp or to death in front of their kids, or just simply because they're at work doing their job. And I listen to it and I hear the stories and I sit back and observe, and I really respect what Ron DeSantis did. I really like what he did and what he was saying, because people have a right to defend themselves. But at the same time, they have a right to live and not be attacked because you don't agree with a policy that's being pushed. Like, yeah, you might not like election results or you might not like some of the policies, but why are you going out attacking random people? As if random people in the streets who are doing their jobs, driving trucks, doing their, daily due diligence, going about their everyday lives, have anything to do with everything that's going on with your life. This is where I look at America and I say we should enforce people and not, we should enforce people being and able to have the right to defend their own selves without the court of law, questioning their judgment. And then at the same time, possibly throwing some of them into prison because they defended themselves from being harmed or killed. Like, we live in a country today where over the last 4 years, we literally let illegal immigrants and criminals run around scot-free doing whatever they wanted to do. And now that we're enforcing policy and standards, and we're putting people in prison, holding them to justice, throwing them under the justice system, which they should be, people have a complaint about that now. Honestly, I'm glad that Ron DeSantis did exactly what he said that he talked about doing. More people should do anything and everything they can to protect and defend themselves. This is why you have gun laws that in certain states that are, open carry. Like, you deserve to shoot somebody that's running up on you the wrong way. Like, if you don't have the decency as a human being to respect someone else's privacy and courtesy, and they're not doing anything wrong to you, if you can't respect other people, stay home, right? Go somewhere else. Like, stay away from people. Because the minute, you start defending and protecting yourself, now you want to sit up here and play this whole victim card. Oh, we have a right to, protest and this and that. And no one said you shouldn't. But the bottom line is, you're trying to cause harm and hurt someone else and trying to destroy their way of life and freedom. They have a right to defend themselves. So, as I'm watching the other clip, and I'm playing another clip. I played another clip with, the police officers running over the citizens, who were going out there rioting and looting with the immigrants, illegal immigrants, right? And I sit back here and I said, it's really funny to me how people are out here shocked and thinking that you shouldn't be run over when you got people who are literally busting up sidewalks, busting up cylinder block bricks and throwing it at the police officers, at the ICE officers who were out here trying to do what it is that they're doing in a way to keep our country safe. And last I checked, when it comes to law enforcement, they're not just coming out, running up, beating up on people just to beat up on you when they're stepping out. But now when you take things to that extreme where you're causing harm to them, Miles said, man, they have a right to defend themselves. This is why they have badges. This is why they have guns, pepper spray, and as you see in the videos, you got people out there running around wild in the streets, doing and saying whatever, and just running up on these people's cars. And I like the idea. I like that people are running up on these people, letting them know they're not going to take their crap. They're not going to take their shit, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to take their crap. Like, you shouldn't be afraid for your life because because you're trying to go to the store, to buy a few items to take home to your family, to take care of your family, and then now you got to take on some illegal alien who's not even a citizen in this country, and then you got people on the far left, attacking other people for no reason. Like, whatever happened to people just being civil, being respectful of other people? But now we live in a day and age where we're letting far too many things go, and I'm glad that this administration and other governors and politicians are taking a stand against it. I respect it. So that is all for today's video. And as I like to say, you treat people how you treat others. You don't want nobody running up on you, running you over. Respect other people, respect their property. But that's all. Thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel and you like my content, please go ahead and leave a comment down below. Please, take the time to like, share, and subscribe to my content. And as I always like to say, to be informed is not to be woke. Stay conscious, my friends.